welcome back to the vlog. Just heading out on a ride now. So the rain stopped today. It actually only stopped about an hour ago. But I'm heading out of Girona and it looks like it's brightening up over there. So as I mentioned, it's only just really stopped raining. It's been raining all night and pretty much non-stop for the past 3 or 4 days. So there's a lot of water saturation around and the river this morning was really full. I've been riding for about an hour and I've not really done any filming in the past hour because I've sort of got this weird feeling. I can't really explain it. It's like I just feel really dizzy and I'm riding along at like 190 watts, and when I'm riding at 190 watts my heart rate should be about 130, 135 at the most, and today my average heart rate is 152. Just something doesn't feel right, you know? So I decided to ride for a little bit more until I've done about an hour to see if I overcame it, to see if it's just like a rough patch at the start of the ride, and it seems like it's just staying. So yeah, I'm gonna cut today's ride short. I can see it in the comments already. You're overtraining, you're not eating well, you're not eating the right things, and what I would say is I've been training long enough now to know what my body needs, what my body doesn't need, and it's also taught me to understand my body and listen to my body. So I know when I'm not 100%, and I also know that when I do train hard, when I'm starting to get ill, it just prolongs the illness. So for me, the best option today was to cut the ride short. I'm just going to spend the day now resting up and chilling out, just doing literally nothing. I'm not going to do any vlogging, I'm not going to do any filming. I'm probably just going to lie in bed and watch movies all afternoon. So I decided, instead of just scrapping off this vlog completely, I'm going to resume it and I'm going to continue it this evening by answering your questions in a Q&A. Okay, let's finish this vlog with a Q&A. It's actually the next morning now. I did pretty much nothing yesterday afternoon. Went to bed like super early, so it's now the current day. But let's get into this Q&A. Do you calorie count? If so, how much are you usually taking on in a typical heavy training day? And what do you eat to meet it? Do you avoid anything? No, I don't really calorie count. I just sort of eat when I'm hungry. What do I avoid? Chocolate, sweets, fatty stuff. What's your 20-minute and 5-minute power? 20 minutes is 370 watts, 5 minutes is 440 watts. Will there be footage from racing this year? Right, if you're a race organiser and you're watching this video, there's not going to be any race footage. I don't think you're technically allowed a camera in racing, so I've got to say that. Are you a beer, wine or Coke man? I guess Coke, because I don't drink alcohol, but then I don't really drink Coke as well. On a serious note, what do you think about protein shakes? I think protein shakes are a good substitute. I don't think you need protein shakes. Like if you come home from a ride and have a good meal that's got protein in, plenty of carbs to replenish the glycogen stores, a protein shake isn't essential. But in a situation where you can't get a good meal in ASAP, like within 20 minutes after a ride, then a protein shake is a good substitute. That's why a lot of people drink protein shakes, because you've got like a 30-minute window of when your body is able to absorb the most protein, the most carbohydrates in order to start the recovery process, and it's quite hard to get a good substantial meal in within 30 minutes of getting back from a training ride. What type of intervals do you think help with race performance? Do you like short or long, and how many repetitions? This all depends on the type of racing you're doing. Like if you're doing crit racing, you want to be doing 30-second sprints because you'd be sprinting out of a corner, holding a high power down a straight, braking into another corner, then sprinting back out of that corner. But for me, I do a lot of long road races and I always like to get away in the break. So for me, I do like 4-minute intervals. So I might do 6 4-minute intervals, which replicates getting across to the break. So anywhere between like 30 seconds up to 20-minute intervals, depending on the type of racing you're doing, it is good for racing. I remember you had a bike fit. What's your verdict on a new position, the bike fit as a whole? Yeah, 100% better. I highly recommend. If you have any problems, any slight niggles at all, go to a bike fit. 9 times out of 10 it will solve that problem, and it did do for me, and I've been 100% since. Saddle sores, do you get any, and how do you deal with them? No, well, I hardly ever suffer from saddle sores. The one thing that I don't do is wear chamois cream, and as a result, I hardly ever get saddle sores. But you wear chamois cream to prevent saddle sores. I don't know, man. A good pair of shorts, a saddle that fits you, and you shouldn't need to use chamois cream, and I don't get saddle sores. What's your opinion on energy gels? Some people say they give you a big high followed by a massive low until you have another one, or are you better off just eating solid food whilst out training? Yeah, for training, I never ever have gels. I just keep gels for racing. So when I'm training, I have either energy bars, bananas, flapjacks, cereal bars, any sort of substantial food. In racing though, when I do have an energy gel, I don't have like a spike and then a low. It's just like a spike and back to normal. When I'm racing, I will have a gel every 45 minutes to an hour. How many hours a week do you aim to train for roughly? About 15. Opinions on earphones whilst riding? Yeah, look, if you're riding along and you want to wear earphones, wear them, but what I would say is only wear one in the ear that is opposite to the traffic. So for example, if you're riding in Europe, have one in your right ear. If you're riding in the UK or Australia, have one in your left ear. Always have one ear open to hear for passers-by, for cars. But in terms of having one earphone in, I've not got a problem with that. I don't really do it just because I'm not the biggest music fan. But in terms of having one earphone in, I don't see a problem with that. Favourite rider in the pro peloton? I think I've answered this in every Q&A. I've not answered, there's quite a lot of questions today which have been just replicated from other Q&As. So if I've not answered your question, go back to one of the older Q&As and I've probably answered it there. But I'll answer my favourite rider, Peter Sagan and Lockie Morton. How do I get into racing? I'm 17, so a junior this year. Can't seem to find any races, 2 or 3 which are far away. On British Cycling, is it because they have not been released yet? No, the races have been released. What happens is when you're a junior, the only races you race as a junior specific is in the nationals. So every other race during the season, it's just on a standard road race. So I'm guessing that you're new into cycling, so you'll be a 4th cat, so you'll do some 4th cat open races. When you move into 3rd cat, then you'll do some 3rd and 4th cat races. So other than the junior nationals, you're just racing the standard senior races. Youth rider starting to get serious about riding. Why can't I join a club until 16? Is it for legal reasons? What's your thoughts? No, I'm pretty sure you can join a club when you're below 16. You might need to have parents' consent or something, but yeah, because you have like youth riders that are part of a club. I only started racing when I was 16, so I'm not entirely sure how the youth club system works, but I don't see any reason why without parents' consent you wouldn't be able to join a club. Alright, that's it from the Q&A. If you enjoyed the Q&A, leave a thumbs up. If you want me to do more in the future, let me know. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.